this here is something that is going to, many of you might have not have heard of. I'm just going to put my notes because I want to stay on track. I'm going to put them down here just in case, because I have got notes to follow along because I want to make sure you get all the information. But this here is, the title is called The Power of Your Subconscious, because our brains are, yeah, they're very powerful things. And a lot of us are just kind of in a state of being. We're just kind of in like a wake up, go to the bathroom, brush our teeth, have breakfast, get in the car, go to work, have your lunch at work, come home, make dinner, go to bed, sort the kids, whatever. And we're kind of just in the state of being like this day in, day out. And the thing is, if we don't change our thoughts, if we don't change what we do, if we don't change like kind of how we feel, then we are literally going to stay the same person. So if you've come into this healthy habits group and you really want to, let's say, lose 10 kgs, or you want to implement better eating habits and make better choices, then you actually have to start becoming and feeling and visioning and understanding who that person is. Otherwise, you will just revert back to the same person. So, yeah, I'm just going to put these notes. I keep falling away. Here we go. We're going to get started into this. So, this one here, like, make sure you finish off last week. So last week was all about setting your goals, and there were like 8 different parts, such as like relationships, your healthy eating, fitness, all those things. And once you've done that, it's easier to come into this and actually, like, as we go through this training today, you can really kind of think of those goals and be like, okay, and like start writing notes about what you can implement and how you can change it. And it helps to go in order of that training into this one. And any questions you have, just pop it in the chat. Like when this is put in, oh my God, I can't talk. When this is pinned and put up into the group chat, into the Facebook group, just put your questions underneath. If they're really personal, get back to me or the consultant who added you in, because then we can help you even more with this, okay? Anyway, today's going to be a lot of info, so if you aren't in a quiet room, or maybe if you just need to take some time, come back to it later and then we'll get into it, okay? But I'm very excited for this, because this stuff here is like what a lot of people don't actually get into. Okay, so nothing is off limits. We just need to go and get the download to download the software to get it, kind of like a computer. Like when you have a computer and it gets slow, what do you need to do to fix it? You kind of need to upgrade it, or you need to download more software or update the software so it can kind of go a bit faster, okay? Now, I've put a quote here that your reality is a construct of the mind. So what that means is that everything we are viewing is different for every single person. And it comes back to what is happening in your mind, how you perceive the situation or the person or the event or what someone said. It'll be different to everyone else. And as a result of that, what we see all comes back to us. Hopefully that is making sense. So if we change how we see things, we suddenly have the power to change the outcome. And because everything is coming back to us as a reflection of us, this is a good chance to sit down and think, okay, what does my reality actually look like and why? Okay, and if you just sit with that and you just think about like it, because we are like everything we have in our life, good, bad, ugly, whatever, it's because of us, and it's how we've reacted, it's how we've shown up. And it's like, I remember when I first learned about all this stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, Emily, like there are so many things I need to change and be better and grow through. And like I'm in a space where I just absolutely hate talking about people, because I just think it's bad energy. You'd hate it if someone was doing that about you. And so you just kind of stay clear of those conversations. And I was years ago, I used to be all about the gossip and all about that stuff. And I realized it actually just puts you in such a bad state. So honestly, I think that's like, there's so many things that might be popping up for you right now. But one things can be like, why am I seen or thinking to be like this? Why do I think like this? Or why do I feel self-conscious around these people? Why do I get so worried about how I look? Why do I get so worried about what people think if I post something up? Sorry, there's a dog going behind me. Can you see? Yeah, my dog's barking. You probably can't hear it. I always know on Zooms, we can hear big noises here, but through the camera, it like blocks it out. Next slide. So sorting the info in our brain. Okay, so let's get super geeky. I really want to just kind of break this down for you so you kind of actually get it. I'm not just making this up, and that you kind of get like what I'm trying to break down. Like I said, this training here, there's a lot to it, and you're probably like, wow, I didn't expect this to be so much, but you're going to thank me at the end of it, because you're going to realize how incredible your life can be no matter what you put your you put your mind to. So the brain is super complex, but let's go into a couple areas of the brain. You've got the first part, which is the thalamus, which is taking in information from your five senses. Okay, so these are your see, touch, taste, smell, hearing. And if you were in traffic and you heard a car coming and the horn go off, your thalamus will say, okay, there's an oncoming car. Let's look. Where is it? Let's get off the road. Okay, so basically it's going to react to a situation. Okay, and then you have your hypothalamus, which is taking information from your internal world. Okay, so it's inside your body, picking up what's going on in your body. For example, if you are super dehydrated, it would send some signals, maybe feeling of thirsty. It will send some cortisol through your body to carry on. It's going back to your fight or flight, back in the days where you were a hunter and gatherer. And it's being dehydrated, and being dehydrated means that there is a lack of water or food. So internally, your body is reacting back to survival mode, which is telling you it's thirsty. But in the meantime, it's freaking out on the inside because it's gone back to the hunter-gatherer days. So this is why staying hydrated, guys, is really good for you. But the human brain, it has over 11 million bits of information processed per second. I remember hearing that. I was like, what the? So interesting. Like, you think about like what I can see here now. I've got a candle, I've got a drink, I've got my microphone over here, I've got my vision board, I've got some hand oil. You got so many things coming on, colors, sounds, the dog barking at someone walking past. Like, there's so much that's going on. But with the conscious mind, it's only available to process about 50 bits of this. Okay, and this is why I said before about how you take in any given situation will be different to others, even if it's the same room, the same situation, because of the way we are filtering some information, and some will take in more than others. And as we process, as information comes in, it goes through the process and does these three things. Okay, it goes through these three things here. So it'll delete. It acts to preserve and protect. So it deletes information that's not deemed necessary. Example, you can be sitting in a cafe having breakfast, and there are so many sounds around. You have you can hear the conversations at the table next to you across the room. You can hear the kitchen, you can hear the music going, there might be a dog outside, maybe someone drops a glass, whatever. But you won't be focusing on all of it. You're not seeing all of it. Your brain literally is taking all of this in, all of this, without you knowing, but it knows everything that's going on. But it's been deleted before it actually gets to you before you even realize it, because it's not deemed important. Okay. The next part is it distorts information. A particular sound may trigger you more than others. And I think I might have said this in this example in the first training, but I'll say it again. So an example, maybe you're in a room, you're watching a movie at home alone, and you hear a sound on the window outside. One person might think it's something breaking in, or it's someone breaking in. Another person might think it's a tree tapping on the window. There are two different views there, right? But it's the same sound. And maybe one of those people grew up watching scary movies versus the other grew up on a farm and used to big trees scratching on the house in the wind. And the last one is generalizes. The brain takes in information, simplifies it, and applies it to something similar. It's super important that we don't need to relearn information every single day. And a really good example is driving a car. So this is good because you don't have to relearn how to open the door and then get in the car and turn it on, and where's the window wipers and where's the indicators. Like, we just know this because it's generalized. It's like, okay, cool, car, I know how to drive it. Doesn't matter which one, maybe if it's a manual or not, whatever. But you generally know if you see a car, that's what you do in a car and how to drive it. Okay, so information is processed through filters. The information comes in, and as we are either made consciously aware of it or not, okay? So it's coming in no matter what, whether you know or not, okay? The information is processed through filters, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. Language. This could be a slang word or phrase. In some countries, it's acceptable, and maybe some others it's not. Okay, so in the USA, they always say y'all, like you all, y'all. And then in New Zealand, have you noticed we say, I'll go to the concert. I'll have a drink. Like, it was good. I don't even know what that means, but it's so like if you said it in it. I remember when I went to France. Oh, sorry, I went to, I think it was America. And I remember they picked it up on me. I was just saying, it was good. I'm from somewhere. And they said, what do you mean yes or no? Like you are or you're not? I was like, oh my God, that's so true. Anyway, I don't know if you guys picked that up, but it's funny. Your memory. Your brain will ask, has this happened before? Do I need to think of a new way to do it? And I know this is like so a lot, but if you think about this, I'm just going to break what we've had done. If you think about most people in here are trying to do healthy habits, there could be other goals as well. If you're trying to create healthy habits, the more you do it, the more you embody it, the more you see it, the more you think about it, it's going to be it's going to happen seamlessly because it wants to do everything easy. So the more you do it, the easier it gets. Okay. An example in your health journey, you have gone to do something before, like tell someone you're going to lose weight or start a fitness regime or eat healthier and failed, or you didn't go all the way through. Maybe you started and gave up, and you've done this a few times after telling people, and now there is a memory of failing. Okay, so that's your memory is I start something, then I fail something. I start something, then I fail something. Okay, so how are you going to break that? Because that's kind of something that's probably happening to a lot of people. So your body sees this as unsafe and it doesn't want you to do it again. So it decides to go back to its old habits, like your old eating habits, your lack of discipline and exercise, etc. So you don't need to get that failed feeling inside, which is essentially keeping your body safe and at the same weight and the same habits. Because what happens is you've tried to do it, and because it's not normal, your body's trying to like say, no, Emily, go back to those old habits because right now you don't really know what you're doing and you might fail. Or I don't know what's the end result going to be because your body just doesn't know it. So that's what's happening. It's like your body subconsciously is self-sabotaging because it doesn't know these new habits and it doesn't know how your body's going to react. So even if you don't even know it's happening, your body is just kind of like doing this underlying. It's so weird, right? So even if you start losing a bit of weight, you're feeling good, your body will sense you're getting out of your comfort zone and it will self-sabotage. It'll be like, oh, I deserve a treat this weekend because of all my hard work. What's one ice cream going to do? And the next day, you know what? I'm doing so well. I can definitely take out that, go to a cafe and get a takeout scone and a coffee from the cafe. And all of a sudden you've just had like these little, you just need to stay focused for this little bit of time. But if you keep like kind of going back and be like, oh, it's okay, I'll do it here and there and there, before you know it's like every single day again. And you've lost all these new habits you're trying to implement because your subconscious doesn't want that feeling of change because it's deemed unsafe, because you actually don't know what the end result is because your body internally doesn't know, your brain doesn't know. So it's kind of weird if you think about it, right? But it's so smart if you actually understand like this is all going on in your head and this is why maybe you started something in the past and you've failed. And it's not because of you, it's because your internal body just is programmed to go day in, day out, do the same thing because it knows it's going to survive. Okay. Previous decisions is the next one I'm going to go on to. So what do I always do in a situation like this? If you react in situations the same way each time, your body knows it's safe. So it doesn't know it needs to relearn something again. Example, if you eat the same thing every single day, your body knows it's safe. It's in a routine where you have survived and it will happily keep these same habits because they have kept you alive to this day. If you start changing your eating habits, then your body now doesn't know what to expect. If this is a one-off, if you're actually changing, it wants to know routines because it keeps you safe and alive. And remember, our brain doesn't know what a chocolate is versus banana or an apple. It doesn't know. It doesn't know what's better for us at certain times of the day. We are going to work through food in module 4, by the way, and it's coming up another one. So it will do everything it can to keep you eating in the same routines. Your subconscious will take over, and before you know it, you're eating how you have always done because of its previous decisions. Okay, I know this is a lot, but this is probably like one of the biggest slides here. Meta programs. You might be attached to beliefs because, you might be attached to beliefs because you had told yourself this now you think this is who or what we are. Like this is what you've told yourself up to this point, basically. I'm an extrovert or I'm an introvert. I'm not a gym person. I'm not good at running. Oh my God, that workout today was so hard. I don't have time to eat healthy. I can't afford to eat healthy. I can't wait till Friday. Those are things that you just like, those are things you've told yourself. And because you told yourself, you kind of just think that's what you are. Like, do you label yourself one or the other? If you have labeled yourself like, I'm not a gym person, and you know you need to join a gym for the accountability or the fun or, to lose weight, you might naturally shy away from this or go in to do the workout and not enjoy it because consciously you have labeled yourself not a gym person. But you can change that. What if you change this to I'm a gym person, or I love the gym, I love working out? You're going to go into that gym and enjoy it. Okay. So it's honestly all in our mindset about how we think of things. Values. How does someone who relives in this react to this? For example, religion is a strong value about situations. So you react the way you think you should because of what you've been told or exposed to, rather than following your intuition or your gut feeling. A really good example of this is food in cultures or social settings. And this is generally the biggest downfall for most people, is feeling bad not to eat what's served or drinking alcohol when everyone else is, even though you don't want to. Because socially, we just feel like we need to sit or feel accepted and do the same to fit in. Okay, last one. Your experience is stored as a memory in the subconscious mind. And if we can store these memories, we can start to make feelings based on these experiences. For example, this can be feeling anxious or excited about going out for lunch with a new friend or work group. Was it fun for you or something you aren't phased on? Depending on past experiences can taint new ones. I'm not sure if you're wondering this is what you've, like, this here was a lot. Okay, take a breather, take a break, take a drink. That page was intense. But I really hope you're now coming into like understanding it all and being like, holy crap, I am like in control of my body. I'm in control of my mind. I'm in control of whatever you want to do, because you actually have now understood that your body, every time you fail at something, every time something gets hard, it's your body saying, this is outside my comfort zone. I don't know what to expect. My body's one job is to make you survive. And right now you're doing something that I don't know if I'm going to survive, because back in the hunter-gatherer days, it was scary. And our bodies still internally work like we were back in the hunter-gatherer days. Okay, here we go. Now, I think we're halfway through, by the way. The reticular activating system, also known as your RAS, is a bundle of nerves at our brain stem that filters out unnecessary information so that important information gets through. Information is constantly being processed, but what is relevant? Okay. Your RAS takes what you focus on and creates a filter for it. It then shifts through your data and presents only the pieces that are important to you. I'm going to use a cafe as an example again. So you can be at this cafe and you could take on a conversation in the distance and hear it, but because it's not deemed important, it's deleted out before it even gets to you. Versus if you're in a cafe and you hear your name, you will hear it across the room because you have identified your name as deemed important. So you might be in this cafe and all these people are talking, all of a sudden you hear like, oh, Emily, and you're like, oh, you look over, because you've deemed that important, versus another conversation they might be having about dancing, which I don't really care about. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't pick it up. Another example is, you might be asleep at night and you don't wake up to any noises, but you'll wake up to your baby crying because your brain, you're hearing it all, your subconscious is hearing it all, but it only deems that baby important because they need you, versus maybe, I don't know, the fridge opening because your teenager's gone to get food. you know, or if you have gone through growing up with no money and money is hard to come by, or limiting beliefs around earning money, you'll probably be the next person to hear interest rates are going up, you know, when you watch the news, or there's a recession, or petrol or grocery prices. You're going to be the one who's going to be drawn to that because that's the way you've grown up. So this is something you can change as well. But if you have a mindset that money is abundant and money is just energy, and that person, you know, that person is very likely blocking out all that news. They don't really care about what, they don't even, like, they drive past the petrol station, they just don't even care what the prices are. There's two different, you can literally change, and a lot of who we are is how we're growing up and who we are around. That's why it's super important to be around you know, a really vibrant, the people you're surrounded yourself with are so important, because they will either take you closer to your goals or further away from your goals. All right. So the subconscious mind meaning, existing in the part of the mind that a person is not aware of. And this is why it's so important to know what subconscious programming we have. All of our past experiences are stored as a long-term memory, which controls 90 to 90% of who you are today. Your thoughts, your emotions, your identity, basically your personality equals your subconscious program. It's insane, right? So I want to explain this in a physical way. Imagine you walking into a room. There is a couch, maybe a TV, a rug, a pretty basic room with a floorboard. But under that floorboard is another room. And in that room are all your past experiences. And now you want to go, like, all these past experiences from your life are in that room. And now you want to go down there, you want to open the trapdoor, and we can look and see the past memories and what we want to work through going forward. And what you want to do is you want to be picking out these past memories that are no longer serving you and throw them away. And then you shut the door and you leave it. So we can actually do that. Like, that's a really, like, kind of the best way to explain, like, you can do like meditations and subconscious reprogramming exercises. We don't do that in Healthy Habit Clubs, but I can send some information your way to help you. And yeah, that there is incredible, because you can just, like, cool, that's not my identity anymore. You can, like, throw it out. Okay. Example of mine. Okay, so this is an example of mine, which is not in Healthy Habits, but it is in my business. Okay, so one of mine has been not feeling good enough until I'm number one in rowing or Arbonne. Hold on, I wrote that down wrong. Anyway, I've always had this, like, feeling of never being good enough. Even though I have an incredible business, I never feel like it's good enough. And that comes down to, I had to, like, really dig deep and be like, why do I still not feel good enough? Because I have so many things that this business has helped me with. And I did an exercise, and what it did is I realized that I was really good at, if you don't know my background, I was really good at rowing as a teenager, and then I left school and I made New Zealand rep teams. But I was never, like, I think I won 1 or 2 gold medals at the nationals in team events. But I was never, like, first on the podium. I was always, like, the 4th, 5th. Like, I was good. I was always good enough to make A finals all the time in A finals, but I wasn't often on the podium unless it was, like, the big boats. But it wasn't in the small boats. And that's a belief I've had. That's something that I had to work through, because I kind of had taken that through without me knowing that. I was like, I am never going to be good. I've never felt good enough rowing because I was never first. And I've taken that into my business, thinking, okay, cool, I actually have an incredible business, but because I'm not at the top, I've never felt good enough. So I've worked through that, and now I've, like, completely changed it, and I know how incredible my business is and how it's helped me and how I can help you. And so that was an example that I had to work through. But, you know, like, what's getting in the way of being the woman that you want to be? And just know all your thoughts, your personalities, the ways we do things are from what's under those floorboards and those past programmings. And look, let me have a think. I think I can probably do a programming for you guys, but our subconscious mind has a function and a purpose to protect and preserve you. So if it knows something in the past that has worked, then it will do, excuse me, then it will do that on repeat, because it knows it's safe. Can you guys get this gist of everything I've been saying, right? I will quickly go through. I'll quickly go through this one. This training here is a little bit longer, but I am getting to the end of it. So we're going to go through to the bottom part is like how your body, how your mind communicates through your nervous system. Okay, so you got your sympathetic nervous system, which is your accelerator, and your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your brake. We can only have one or the other. You're going to be going, you can't have them both on, okay? So your sympathetic is your fight or flight. Going back to our caveman days, we either needed to be fight, flight, or freeze. All your functions are now switched off because you don't know how to face a tiger in a situation and digest food. So we need to know, basically not, if you're like in this big stress these days is like too much caffeine, not enough sleep, over workouts, bad relationships. Those are like stress in your life right now. So right now when that's happening, your body's like, you know what? I don't need to digest my food because I'm like trying to sort out this relationship, or I'm like way too buzzed out on too much caffeine and alcohol, or, like my body's just freaking out on the inside because it's just like there's too much stimulants going through our body. And so it doesn't want to digest food. So what it does instead is, we need to preserve this, and it stores fat because it thinks it's going to be chased by a tiger, because that back in the day, those were the signals that were going through your body that meant to, like pass on, like store fat because we're not going to survive. Okay, so other examples could be like money, bills, stressful situations, bad relationships, high processed food, sugar, too much coffee. Like those are the tigers nowadays, okay? So we want to be in the parasympathetic system, which basically when you're less stressed, your body feels safe. And what that means is like, what that looks like nowadays is, a healthy body, less stress, regular periods, good sleep, good relationships, not money problems, like anything that just feels good, right? Get a massage, everything. So you need to we need to figure out how to get more of that into your life. Yeah, because that's the state that you want to be, because it's your body slowing down, and it's able to digest your food. It's able to, be a healthier body. Okay, how much have we got left? Hold on, wait. 8, 9, 10. Okay, we have probably got, we still probably honestly probably got another 15 minutes to go. It is a longer one, but I feel like you guys need this. I can't really go through this without you and just yeah. But we are nearing to the end. Okay, assessing the power of the subconscious mind. So by the age of 30, 95% of who you are is a program of your past, including your experiences, your beliefs, and behaviors. And so you're living on autopilot. You're thinking the same way, you're feeling the same way, you're behaving the same way. So your future is basically going to look the same as your past. So unless you change, you're going to be stuck. Whatever's been happening, the trajectory is basically going to be the same. But it amplifies as you get older. So if you are someone who keeps gaining weight as you get older, and you're like, oh, one day I'll lose weight. No, you need to change your habits now, because otherwise it's going to amplify as you get older, because things get slower. And that is where your life is going. So it needs to change. You're living on autopilot. You're thinking the same. You're feeling the same. You're behaving the same. Your future is basically looking into this, basically how you are now. And you have learned everything so you can function without having to consciously relearn everything each time, which is going back to saying our body wants to be the same all the time. This means you'll think the same, you'll feel the same, you'll act the same, and in accordance with the program. And the brain will always protect you from anything you aren't programmed to perform, because it sees it as a threat. So you honestly, I feel like you're now getting specific. You understand now why you have tried to go after goals before and failed. It's because we haven't reprogrammed the subconscious mind for a new normal. Okay, so that's all kind of brought you to this part here now, so you can understand that this is why, because we actually need to reprogram our subconscious mind to be able to change who we are. Of us, we're always going to keep going back into our default, which is who we have been in the past. Okay, so accessing the power of the subconscious mind. It contains an intelligence with all of the answers and guidance you need once you know how to tune into it. There are certain known principles. Matter expands when heated. 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen make water. Think good and good follows. Think evil, evil follows. what you think all day long. So you are what you think all day long. That's a quote. That's a really good one. Think about it. Think positive, positive things come, okay? Think about you achieving your goals. It's going to happen. All of your experiences, events, and conditions and actions are produced by the subconscious mind in reaction to your thoughts. And it's not the thing you believe in, but it's your belief about the thing that bring in the results. And okay, so thinking about it, like thinking about how you will look, how you'll feel, how your relationships be, like all the things that we did in the first week, that hopefully these are coming to mind, being like, okay, like this, like you really need to be working on. I'm going to get through like how to actually do it. Okay. Next slide. We're getting there, guys. What does your subconscious mind think? Imagine your mind is like a rich soil that will grow whatever you've planted it. Desirable outcomes will not grow from limiting thoughts. Okay, I'll say that again. Desirable outcomes will not grow from limiting thoughts. You must control your thoughts at the conscious level. Change the filter so what lands in the subconscious mind is aligned with the life that you want. The conscious mind is the captain and the subconscious mind is the worker in the engine room. They rely on orders from the captain to direct the ship and obey him because he is in charge. So what orders are you providing the subconscious mind? Okay, and this is where you need to think about the future person and like really like think about how does that person feel? How does she look? What does she wear? Because those feelings are going to come into every time you choose what you eat, what you drink, exercise you do, or exercise you don't do. If you think you can't eat healthy, you are giving the direction to the subconscious mind that you can't eat healthy and make better food choices, and it will obey the order, causing an effect in your condition and experience. And it does not question the orders. So if you're thinking that you can't do it, it's cool. It won't do it because you don't think you can. So you actually have to just believe in yourself. And this is what I always say. This is a bit off topic, but not really. This is what I say to people who start a business with me or thinking about it is like they only know what they have. Like they haven't done a business, so of course they're going to be like, oh, I can't do it. But you don't know because you're not surrounded by people who believe in you, who encourage you, and who you need to be around people who are doing that. And you'll be like, slowly you'll develop those habits and create those habits to become someone who can be successful in the business that I do. Same as your eating. You need to surround yourself with people who eat healthier, who are like-minded, because they're going to naturally, you're going to be like, cool. You want to be like them. Same as on Instagram. Follow people who lift you up. Follow people who you inspire to be. Follow people who have incredible recipes online. And then unfollow the ones who make you feel bad. Okay? So by limiting your thoughts, you will go through life experience a lack of all these things. And you will think it's the circumstances that made it so. But you created those circumstances by your own negative denying thoughts. Remember, this is such a slap in the face for some, like it was for me years ago. I was like, oh, geez, that's harsh. But it is, it's so harsh, especially if this is the first time you're hearing all this stuff. The subconscious mind does not have the reasoning or the ability to like the conscious. So the conscious mind's like me, like I'm going to pick up my drink. I know my drink's here. I'm going to take a drink. My conscious mind for you right now is you're watching the replay of this. It knows what you're doing. Okay. But the subconscious mind doesn't. Like the subconscious mind is just like a program and we have to it just goes. So whatever information you're providing it will accept that as truth and make it true by causing effect in the condition in your real world. So how do we communicate with the subconscious mind, which you're like, come on, Emily, let's get there. And I'm like, I know, but I've made it very in depth so you cannot question why I'm just saying to do this. Okay, get clear on the end goals. If you have not done week 1, you want to be doing those because then you actually understand how you're going to feel, how you're going to look, how you're going to act, how you're going to be every day. Okay. Use imagery like making a vision board. I've got my vision board here. I can see it every single day. So I'm so focused on it. Okay. Put your vision board as a screensaver on your phone. Put it on the screensaver of your laptop. Put it on your fridge because we all go into our fridge every single day. Working harder doesn't create results and willpower won't do it either. Okay. You don't need to work harder necessarily. You do need to work, excuse me. Instead, you want to be visioning or visualize the end result and the state of freedom and feeling it produces when you are living a full life of confidence. You will find your intellect trying to get in the way, trying to find ways to solve the problem, trying to find the ways to know how, and impose on those subconscious thoughts, but you need to resist it. Okay, so every time you go to do something, your body will go back to be like, this isn't comfortable. I want to go back to that chocolate bar for afternoon tea if that's what you're doing. Don't do it. You need to resist, okay? It's your body it's just your body doesn't know what's different, okay? And you need to have clear intention. So be clear about who you want to be, how you want to feel, how you want to look, how do you want to feel when you walk into a shop. Ways to do this is, like mental rehearsing and sleep meditation. So these are something which you can, oh my God, I keep wanting. And it's only like 9 a.m., 9:30. I was up last night with the kids, so hey. But yeah, these are things where you could just Google one. I should put some on, make a note to put some in. Put when you go to sleep. So when you go to sleep, it's a really good way. You have your earphone in, and you close down your eyes and you're about to fall asleep. You're kind of in like this really slow brainwaves. And what happens when you're in that part is you're like taking in everything. So you're like falling asleep and you're taking in anything. So this is why the opposite, like scrolling, if you're on your phone and you're in bed and you're like, I'm just going to scroll all night, you're going to go to sleep and be like, think of everything that you're comparing yourself with. And that's what your subconscious is taking in. So you want to, at the nighttime's the best place, because as you go to bed, you're leaving your subconscious with thoughts about who you want to be, because you've done a meditation, and I'll have to link them through. Where are we? Okay, so homework. Is there something? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm honestly like, I don't feel tired, but maybe I am. Is there something about your goals that you have previously considered bad, evil, or a threat? Okay, so what does it mean? Or like, consider what you have maybe told, like maybe what your parents were like growing up. Remember, it doesn't mean our parents are bad. Our parents are also a result of who they've surrounded themselves with and their parents growing back. And that's why it can be really hard to breaking generations, because for generations, people have done the same thing, same working day in, day out. And that's one thing I know. We're not talking about business here, but that's what I know. One thing that comes through with a lot of people coming into this business is they only know what their parents did, worked 9 to 5. They only know what their parents did, worked hard. And it meant, but we're actually in such a different age right now where working online can be so much smarter. You don't actually have to work super, super, super hard and long hours to make financial abundance, okay? And so it's basically a programming from the past and from our people growing up with, okay? So it's just about debunking those threats, or debunking those thoughts, and like what's really going to happen if you give this a go, if you try, your new health regime, your new business. Will that be okay? What's going to be so bad? Another powerful way to debunk these threats is creating a new situation in our minds so that the threat does not exist at all. Example, perhaps you've identified that the more healthy you become, the less friends the less friends will want to hang out with you or invite you out. And then in this case, you can change the narrative to include the desire that your new healthy body will be accepted and that your friends will be motivated to go off their goals too. So instead of thinking like you're so afraid that your friends are going to judge you because when you go out, you don't want to drink with them, they actually might be feeling the same way. They might be wanting to get healthy, but they've been like too scared to go after their goals because they're thinking of get judged. And then you come along and you want to be healthy and you don't want to drink. They're gonna be like, oh, thank God you're doing that. I want to do it with you. Rather than, and like the whole situation's turned because you thought they're going to judge you, but they were actually inspired by you. And like I said, everyone sees situations differently. So yeah, and then you also need to identify the loss. So maybe just screenshot this and screenshot this slide and put it up. What are you going to lose from having a healthy lifestyle? So maybe you might have a different group of friends or lose certain people in your life. It's okay. I fully believe, I fully, on my hand on heart, believe that people come in your life for certain reasons and they won't always be there forever. And they teach you something, and I just fully believe that people are there. No, people aren't always there forever. Um, but it doesn't mean they're bad or negative if they're not in your life. It's just everyone is constantly evolving and growing, and different kids and jobs and whatever. So we're kind of always going like this. But whoever's in your life, whatever's happening, that will teaching you something, and you have to figure out what that is. So yeah, so like I'm gonna leave it there for your exercises. What I'm gonna do is when I'm gonna post this up, I'm gonna post in the when I post it up, which you're probably already seen because you're watching this recording, but I'll put a sleep meditation. I will put I will put some exercises to help you like really work through this. And one thing I haven't actually talked about is your morning routine. So I'm just going to stop sharing and just stop sharing here. And I just want to explain what that means. So one easy, simple step that I can tell you right now will help you straight away is go get a nice new journal. So I have a beautiful journal over here. I write in it every single day. And if you can wake up in the morning and start with gratitude, because it's just science, it's facts. If you are in a state of gratitude, you're going to be in a more positive state. You're going to be more open to conversations. You're going to be more open to opportunities. You're going to be more open to making new friends and connections. And those people have new networks that can help you, all the things. And so I want you to just focus on getting up, waking up, writing like 3 things. Obviously, you can do more. 3 things you're grateful for. Doing some affirmations like I am a healthy woman, or I am confident when I walk into shops. I am a successful businesswoman, whatever it is, you can write it, you can change it, and you can start by doing that in the morning. So yes, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, remember you can get back to me or the consultant who added you in. And yeah, well, I'll see you in the next training, and have an incredible day, night, wherever it is.